Yes, that's right, I've started my very own watch brand. You guys know that I love dress watches, and specifically rectangular dress watches. I've reviewed many of them on the channel, I've made many videos about rectangular dress watches, and I've always said that the dress watch market, in my opinion, is the most underserved when it comes to affordable watches. So what I've done, in my opinion, is I've made the best affordable dress watch on the market. This watch launches today. They're available for pre-order using the link in the description. I'll tell you the price of it a little bit later in the video, but these come in under £300. So first of all, the brand name, Area Nostalgia. What does it mean? Well, it means something to me. It might mean nothing to you. I love nostalgia, it's one of my favourite things on the planet. Old games, Pokemon cards, holidays with family. Nostalgia is one of my favourite things, and I couldn't pick a brand name that was boring because, trust me, this watch is not boring. I meant to something that means a lot to me and also works with the style of watch that I've created. So allow me to introduce you to the Clocktower. Yes, that's right, I've only gone and done it. I've made a watch based on a British Gothic clock tower. Specifically, the clock towers found around my home city of Manchester, including the Manchester Cathedral and the Manchester Town Hall clock. I've taken elements from various clocks around Manchester and combined them into this gorgeous new watch, mainly with the case details and the case back. Well, I'll cover that in a second. So the clock tower is your quintessential rectangular dress watch. It features a beautiful curvaceous case with tons of detail. It features a very elegant dial with a railway minute track. And of course, these have been designed for you, for watch enthusiasts. Mechanical movement, sapphire crystals, multiple straps. In my opinion, what you get for the price with the Clocktower is, it's super compelling. It's the case material, 316L stainless steel as standard, completely polished all over for that dressy look. However, of course, we've got those Clocktower details etched into the case. For example, around the crystal, there's a flower, there's a diamond, there's arrow tip heads. There's then pillars at the top and the bottom of the case that feature arches within. And of course, I had to put a signed crown on here, but Area Nostalgia doesn't have a logo, we just have the text. So what I've done is I've taken that beautiful flower from the case detail and put it into the crown. The crown is just push-pull, however, the case back is screwed down. There's one screw in each corner, and it also has a beautiful piece of artwork from a genuine artist. This features the Manchester skyline with the Manchester Town Hall clock on the right. You're peering through a window, there's also the night sky there with some stars. There's also a little picture of Saturn there, which is my favourite planet in the solar system. Also, that is a little nod to my late grandmother. That was our last memory together, so that's a little piece of my grandmother on this watch. 50 meters of water resistance. This watch is fine for everyday life, you know, it's a dress watch anyway, don't take it for a swim. And yes, it does come with a sapphire crystal, but this isn't your standard piece of sapphire. Now, when you put the case flat, it actually curves from left to right. It's only subtle, but it does curve. So what I've done is I've made the sapphire crystal also curve with the case. You can really see this from the side angle because there's distortion to that piece of sapphire. And when you run your finger along the case, it feels incredibly smooth. And I've done this because I think it makes them look more premium. You know, I think when you consider how much this watch costs, it looks like it costs a lot more. Now, there's 4 dial options with the Clocktower, and I've tried to get a nice mix here to make everybody happy, but truth be told, I just picked dial options that I liked and I think would work with the style. Now, first of all, there's a teal. This pays respect to my favorite affordable dress watch, the Bowcroft Seeker Teal. It's a little bit deeper than the Bowcroft. It's a little bit less dynamic. I think this is the most low-key option of the Clocktower range. There's polished applied indexes, there's also a polished handset. If you don't like flashier over the top, I think this is the one to go for. Next up, I love gold. I love two-tone watches, so of course I had to do a champagne dial. This pays respect to vintage watches. You don't see champagne dials too much these days, but I think the combination of the champagne with the polished indexes, with the polished handset, with the polished case, I think it dances, it glistens, it looks incredible. Then we have 2 premium dial options, if you will. First of all, the Clocktower Pearl. This is a genuine mother of pearl dial. It is a very subtle mother of pearl outside in full light. It does tend to look white most of the time. However, when you get it inside and you hit it in the right light, this thing dances. Blues, silvers, pinks, it looks incredible. I'd say this is the most charming Clocktower. It's got a special dial material that only you can really appreciate. One big difference between this version and the 2 color options is that the pearl comes with electroplated blue hands. That's to offer a lot of contrast with that mother of pearl dial, which again is quite bright. So even though this is quite a small watch, legibility here is actually pretty good. And then we have the watch that inspired the Clocktower. This was the first Clocktower that I designed. This is the Clocktower Luminous. Yes, I am crazy enough to put a full lume dial on a dress watch. This one features a full C3 super luminova dial, then features a lacquered layer over the top to give it a glossy finish. This one also features the blue handset so that it contrasts with that full lume dial. And let me tell you, I am very happy with how this lume turned out. It is exceptionally bright, even next to dive watches, considering it's quite a small dial, this is a dress watch, it glows tremendously well. Legibility on this watch in full light, low light, no light, don't matter, it's incredible. As mentioned, this was the first clock tower that we designed. This was the one that inspired the whole range because classic clock towers usually glow from behind. So I thought, because we're doing the clock tower, let's go all the way. Let's do one that glows in the dark. Every dial features a black railway minute track around the outer. Every clock tower then features rounded applied indexes with larger applied indexes at the quarter hours. That just helps a little bit with orientation, and it just, I think, looks a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Now, as mentioned, these are mechanical. These are hand-wound watches. Inside is the Seagull ST6103K. This is a manual wind movement with no automatic rotor. It's a true three-hand movement, so there's no go state position. It does feature hacking seconds as well. 36-hour power reserve, 17 joules, 21,600 vibrations per hour, so you get 6 ticks per second. There is not a lot of options when it comes to manual wind movements at an affordable price. Trust me, I looked far and wide. It was basically this or a Solita SW210, and those movements are very expensive, and I wanted to keep this watch as affordable as possible. Also, because this is a manual wind, I gave this watch a nice big crown. It's very easy to grip. The case also curves quite a lot towards the crown, so you certainly won't have a problem winding this watch. It's quite easy. Britain has a rich history when it comes to clock towers, and all of them are mechanical, so I wanted to make the Area Nostalgia clock tower mechanical too. Now, in terms of size, listen, I've reviewed a lot of rectangular dress watches, so this was kind of the easiest part. I knew what I wanted. Case diameter comes in at 30mm, lug to lug comes in at 39mm, and case thickness, thanks to that manual wind movement, just 9mm. This thing on my wrist, it just wears just beautifully. Fits like a glove, it slides under a cuff. I mean, you forget you're wearing it. It's perfect. I based the dimensions of the clock tower on the Benjamin James Scarra 4, a rectangular sports watch that I adore, that I enjoy wearing all the time. I changed the dimensions a little bit from that watch, but for all intents and purposes, it wears very similar. Now, when I designed the clock tower, I wanted it to be a strap monster, right? It's one of my favorite things, is playing with straps with my watches, and I wanted to make sure that anyone who buys one of these can do the same, and I think that's what I've delivered. This watch comes with a 20mm lug width, and I think because of the dial colors that I've selected, you can pretty much wear these on any strap that you want. And to prove that, you get an extra free strap with the watch. First of all, every single clock tower comes on a steel mesh bracelet. This tapers from 20 down to 18. Not many mesh bracelets taper, but the clock tower has a tapering mesh bracelet. This is quite a thick mesh just to give the watch a little bit more weight, a little bit more presence. So you get the mesh as standard, but then you also get the choice of one extra strap for free. I've picked 3 different straps here that sort of offer a different style. So you can either dress it up, one that's sort of for everyday wear, and then one that's super casual. So first of all, the dress option is this black Soffiano leather. It features sort of a cross-hatch pattern. It's got a glossy finish to it. This is for sure the dressiest strap that you can choose with the clock tower. All of these straps come with quick release spring bars. They also come with signed matching hardware. The second strap option, sort of the everyday option, is this oiled brown leather with cream stitching. This one will patina the more you wear it, so you can sort of, you know, make your own story with this strap. You could for sure get away with it as a dress watch strap, but it is one designed more for everyday use. And then the most casual option of the lot, I love suede straps, so I decided to offer a suede strap with the clock tower. This one features a little bit of stitching where the strap meets the case, but it just has that sort of fluffy suede look to it that I think dresses the clock tower down quite a lot. So if you don't work in an office or, you know, wear dress watches every day, this dresses the watch down a little bit so it works with t-shirt and jeans. Now, just because this is my watch doesn't mean that it avoids the flaw section. First of all, the straps, I'm not completely happy with them. So currently the strap tapers in terms of thickness from 4mm down to 2mm. And basically what that means is the strap is really soft at the bottom, but then up here it is stiff as hell. So for full production, the straps are not going to taper from 4 to 2, they're just going to be 2 all the way down. Also currently on the back of the straps, they're fitted with this sort of velvety leather. Don't like this leather at all, it makes me cringe. So this will be fitted with a regular leather that hopefully will be a little bit more durable and feel a little bit less cringe. Also not happy with the color on the suede strap. This one is way too orange for my liking. It's going to be changing to more of a beige or a sand color, because at the minute this orange strap doesn't look good on the teal. So what I'm going to do is by making it a cream color, it will work on every single watch here. I think the teal dial is a little bit too dark, so what I'm going to do for full production is just lighten it a little bit. Not too much, because of course this is the low-key option, but just give that teal dial a little bit more energy. And I think there's 2 main things that will put people off this watch. First of all, the design is very niche, right? It's unusual, it's weird. That's what I like. I'm an unusual person. I'm bold, you know. I couldn't possibly imagine myself doing something boring. This watch is me through and through, you know, inspired by Manchester clocks, my favorite dial colors, my favorite straps. All of the years that I've been reviewing this style of watch has gone into the creation of the Clocktower. The size, the dial options, the straps, everything. I've sort of put all of it into this, and I think, you know, I've delivered something, yes, very unusual, but I think it's compelling. Now, in terms of the size, it's not going to be for everybody, right? It's quite a small watch, 30mm by 39. If you've got an 8-inch wrist and above, I don't think this watch will fit you, unless you've got a taste for smaller watches, which, by the way, if you have an 8-inch and above, I do respect you. This watch is designed for, I'd say, 7.5-inch wrists and below, and I genuinely think this watch will fit as low as 4.5 inches, you know, because of that compact look to lug and how thin it is. But I think this is the perfect size for this style of watch. Genuinely, I think I've nailed it. Now, as mentioned, this watch is under £300, but it's not going to be under £300 forever. So this is a pre-order. You don't get the watch straight away. Basically, you place your order, you're going to have to wait a few months to get the watch. But in return for that, I'm giving out some hefty discounts on the watch. Retail price is £379. However, for pre-ordering, I'm offering a super early bird discount of £279 to all customers within the UK. And then if you're outside the UK, it's $299 US. Free worldwide shipping to every single country. If you're in the UK, all of your taxes, all of your tariffs, that sort of thing is included. The price that you pay on the website is your final price if you're within the UK. But if you're outside the UK, so EU, America, South America, Asia, you'll have to pay your own taxes, imports and tariffs when you eventually get the watch. What I've done is I've knocked 20% off the UK price to help you with those taxes, so hopefully everyone pays around about the same for this watch. However, that super early bird discount price is only going to be running for 1 week. So on the 7th of December at 3 p.m, the super early bird discount price ends, and then it just goes to the early bird discount price. Early bird discount price will be £299, so only an extra £20, and in USD it'll go from $299 to $329. That'll then be the price till the end of December, and then it'll get knocked up another 20 quid after January until pre-orders are ready to send. Every dial is stamped first edition at the 6 o'clock and is limited to just 100 pieces per colour. Every watch will be individually numbered 1 to 100 on the case back, so if the Clocktower does become a classic, you'll own one of the first ones ever made, stamped first edition on the dial. Shipping will start for this watch towards the end of March, beginning of April. I've put on the website early April just to be safe, but of course I'm going to be pushing the suppliers as much as I can to try and get these watches to you as quick as possible. Again, free worldwide shipping. I've took 20% off the price for everyone outside the UK. If you're in the UK, the price you see on the website is your final price delivered to your door. Also, packaging, you do get a watch box. Watches up here, 1 strap in each side. Happy days. I am over the moon with how this watch has turned out. I am so glad that I didn't sort of compromise in any area and sort of design something that I didn't fully believe in. I was constantly met with decisions of making something niche or making something mass appealing. And every single time I chose to make something that was more and more niche. A small rectangular dress watch with a circle dial, case engraving, full loom. I'm very confident in saying this watch has never been made before. How often can a micro brand say that? And I'm not saying that to brag, I'm just happy with what I've done. For me, this is now one of the best affordable rectangular dress watches on the market. Sapphire, mechanical, there's a full loom dial, there's a mother of pearl dial, 50 meters, 2 straps, full stainless steel with those Clocktower details. It's unapologetically niche, unapologetically different. It's a dress watch that no other brand is making. So if you want the Clocktower look, there's only one place you can get it, and that is Area Nostalgia with the Clocktower. Of course, you'll find a link to pre-order this watch in the description below. It's areanostalgia.com. I've never had a Patreon. I've never had channel members. I've never asked for donations. If you guys like this watch and you can afford it, please do support me. Pre-order one of these watches. If this watch is successful, I will continue to make more designs that you've never seen before. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to check out the website if you want to pre-order one. I appreciate you so much. Have a fantastic day. I hope you like the watch. I've been working on this for a year. Catch you in the next one, guys. Bye for now.